Hello, friends. To all my female entrepreneurs out there, I'm Dr. J. I'm joining you from my old community back home in Parker, Colorado. And this tonight, an extra special cosmic spectacle is happening. And so I want to welcome my Facebook friends to my live training. You're getting a little behind the scenes of what's going on because this event is so important. I wanted to make sure that everyone knows about it and is invited. So for those of you in our women entrepreneur community, I'm very excited to share these secrets with you. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about cosmic synergy this week. There's a powerful convergence happening in tonight's planetary parade, and we can utilize that to manifest so that we're not in fight mode as often, that we can be in divine state of flow with our business to achieve ultra high levels of success. I'm a mathematician, and so I take that normal distribution curve and I think, how do we achieve standard deviations above the norm? Because we weren't designed for the status quo. The status quo leaves us feeling stressed and struggling. And I want you feeling elevated in a high vibrational space with optimized health, vibrant energy, and most importantly, a spirit of joy. I was able to quadruple my income using these strategies, using high performance, using leadership strategies that changed the trajectory of my life. My daughter wanted to ride horses, and at the time I was a broke as a joke educator. I couldn't afford that. And so I ended up having to change careers and became the courageous career changer who figured out how I could succeed on my own as a single mom on a solo income. And so I'm very passionate about up-leveling the success of women, because as women, we change our families, we change our communities, we change our workplaces, and we change our world when we embrace high-performance leadership in our lives. So I'm here to position you for ultra-high levels of success. The top 10% of earners make over $160,000 a year. So I want you framing what percent, pick your percent right now, and go ahead and Google what are the top percentages of earners earning, and then set a target. For me, I had a wonderful coach at the time when I was going through a legal battle with my daughter's father. And she said, why are you coming to this battle with the same self that you were years ago when this happened? You've changed since then. You've grown since then. You're a powerhouse. And I didn't see myself that way. I wasn't, while I was to others in my inner world, I was riding the struggle bus. And so I'm very passionate about these subjects because I know what it's like to work so darn hard that you lead yourself to cancer. That's what happened to me. And so for you, my friends, I want you to have a different outcome. And uncommon results require uncommon strategies. So I want you to be thoughtful about the way in which you're living. Often we focus so much on the what we have to do that we forget who we are and how, our operating system. So I'm here as your business strategist, helping you look at who you are and how you're operating, because those two things are what set you apart. They are what determine that ultra level of success for yourself. That's why I'm super passionate about those subjects, because I always love studying the things that position people to have the skills to pay the bills, my friends. So June 3rd, we are getting ready for a cosmic spectacle. It is a rare parade of planets that's going to hit our sky. Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are all going to line up. Those first four will be visible with the naked eye. It'll be late tonight or before sunrise. And then you'll need a telescope if you want to view Uranus or Neptune. For me, I don't need to be gazing at the stars. I love to be in the pages of my journal, crafting a strong vision for my life. So let's talk about the significance of this alignment. We can use this energy to sharpen our minds, to accelerate our path to enlightenment, to boost our stamina, to protect ourselves from harm, and to remind ourselves why we've chosen to be here in this moment in time in our lives. So let's break down the representation of these planets so we can use their energy to support our success. Mercury. So grab your journals. You know me, I'm a note taker, I'm a scholar, I'm a researcher. So I've done my homework for you. Grab your journal. And as I'm sharing the representation of each of these planets, I want you to personalize this learning. Sadly, the worst part of my job is you will only remember 20% of this 30 days from now. But you can dial that up to 50% if you take notes and 90% if you take action. So let's commit to just doing it right? Let's be like Nike. Nike didn't just say, just overthink it, just overanalyze it, just doubt yourself. They said, just do it. It's in the doing that we discover the best of ourselves, that we learn at deep levels. John Dewey teaches us that with constructivist learning theory. We also know learning's highly socialized. That's why in High Performance Leadership Academy, we're talking about these concepts. We're setting goals. We're personalizing them and socializing them as we discuss them in group settings. And it's very important for you to have a high vibe tribe to be able to discuss your biggest, most ambitious goals with, because you'll get out into that world and your vibration will lower immediately. And so we have to have that higher vibrational space from which to manifest with greater flow and ease. So Mercury, next to Mercury, right, communication, intellect, and travel. This is the planet that governs our thinking processes, our perception and the way we see the world, and our reasoning abilities, our ability to reason and discern what's good for ourselves. Our level of success is determined by the quality of our thoughts. And I want you to think about this. There are 4 things that set great leaders apart. So you often want that ultra level of success, yet you don't know how to get there. One of the best things you can do is to focus on the quality of your thoughts. How they think is one of those 4 things. Our thoughts influence how we experience the world, which affects the beliefs we hold, the thoughts we think, and our thoughts determine our actions. Our actions are what determine that level of success that we achieve in our lives. In 2 Corinthians in Scripture, it advises us to take captive every thought. This scripture invites us to use this positive, proactive approach to manage our mindset. Ensure that our thoughts are in alignment with faith and the knowledge of God, and not in the knowledge of fear. There are 4 symptoms of fear: overthinking, analysis paralysis, I don't have these in my notes, comparisonitis, and fear of missed opportunity, FOMO. For high achievers, FOMO stands for fear of missed opportunity. So we have to either choose. I want you thinking binary here. There's a path. Is that thought aligned with faith and your knowledge of God and abundance and the divine, or fear? Which are you choosing? Faith over fear all day, baby. That's where we got to have our minds for our businesses and careers to lead us to ultra high levels of success. So let's talk about what Scripture says you are. Because again, I want you shifting from what you have to do to who you are and who you're becoming. You are beautiful, according to Ecclesiastes, victorious in Romans. 2 Corinthians teaches us we're enough. Genesis, that we are created with great purpose and intention. Philippians teaches us we're strong. Psalms, amazing. Mark, capable. 1 Thessalonians, chosen. Matthew, never alone. That one's critical. It's important for us to know we're never alone. Sometimes when we're really feeling that struggle, it's because we're feeling alone. In that moment, reach out. Reach out to somebody. Reach out to me. I love it when people do that. People did that to me during my cancer journey. It was the most beautiful moment of my life because I knew I was never alone. Even though as a single mom, I shut that door and I felt very alone, that help was only one text away, and often it was divinely guided by God. So all I had to do was pray for help, and it was delivered. I didn't have to make it as hard as what I thought I did. And then my favorite from Romans, you're always loved. We are loving beings, and we're always loved. So I challenge you to see the good in others, to see the good in yourself, because how you see yourself is how you see the world. So when you're out there judging and criticizing others, I was listening to someone be very, very critical and judgmental yesterday. And as I was story sharing with my friends, I said, you know, what saddens me is I know that's a reflection of that person's inner state. It has nothing to do with who they're judging. They're just judging. The way they're looking at others is the way they're looking at themselves. That's where that judgment comes from. They're seeing in them something they don't like in themselves. And so really important for us to monitor those thoughts and to have our thoughts aligned with who we are. I read this list myself every day. You are beautiful, victorious, enough, created, strong, amazing, capable, chosen, never alone, and always loved. That is important for you to know, my friends. Next, let's talk. Yeah, see? Little number 8. I call her number 8 because she's infinite love. Infinite love over here. She's a little snuggle bunny. And so let's talk Mars. Mars is the planet that symbolizes energy, action, and desire. This planet is associated with drive, our internal drive, determination, and that discipline that we exude towards our goals, and one of my favorites, sexual energy. So let's talk energy. Often, energy in our health. I used to focus on my health because I wanted to be slim and slender and feel sexy and attractive, right? That's a normal place for us to start. Later, as my career grew and my ambitions rose, I needed more energy. I needed a vibrant energy and an optimal state of health to get 4 times as much done every year. So I challenged myself to achieve 4 years growth in 1 year's time. That's how I started positioning myself as the category of one, the kind of person that could walk into my boss's office and say, hey, Google has started engaging in conversations with me. I would prefer to stay here. However, they're offering me $60,000 a year more than what you're paying me. And then to have that individual say to me, what if I gave you $110,000 to stay? That's where I want you positioned. When you strategically select skills in alignment with what the workforce in the future needs, that's what I position my clients to do. We skill build intentionally. And then most importantly, we execute on those skills, right? And we can also invite, because I want you thinking about who you are and how you're operating. How you're operating can be not aligned with the kinds of stress that leads to depression and anxiety. I see so many families falling apart because as they embrace high levels of success, they're exchanging that with sacrifices that they're making to their health and well-being and to the quality of their relationships. What's beautiful about the largest body of research on high performance is that the world's highest performers achieve ultra high levels of success while maintaining their health and well-being and quality relationships. That's what we put center stage in High Performance Leadership Academy. I want you focused on how. Think about your operating system. All right, next planet is Jupiter. Jupiter is that is probably my all-time favorite planet. It is the planet of expansion. So it's all about growth. I love personal growth and professional growth. So for me, Jupiter's my planet. It's my jam. It's also the largest, so it reminds me to dream big and ambitious goals. It is also the planet of abundance, success, and fortune. It's considered the lucky planet. It casts a silver lining on everything in its path. So tonight, as we awaken this planetary alignment, we can place our challenges and our problems onto God, the Almighty Creator, as well as the guardians of the galaxies to assist us in placing that silver lining on anything in our path. It can also help us focus on the big picture and get excited for the future. So that might be something you want to put into action as these planets are aligning. Again, grab your notebook, take some notes, write down the words that resonate with you, personalize this learning. That will also help code it into the cells and fibers of your being so that you don't have to work so hard. I want you to experience great ease and flow, my lovely ladies. Saturn, we're going to talk about Saturn next. We got 3 more planets to cover. Saturn's going to be in the night sky as well, and that is the planet of structure, discipline, and responsibility. Some of us need to wake up to our responsibility and take ownership of our lives. This is a wonderful opportunity to do that. I am assuming high levels of personal responsibility for my health right now. I'm doing a full panel of blood work, fecal samples, urinalysis, like before and after to see how my body processes and detoxifies itself, hair samples. I've been live about that a few times and we'll be sharing that journey with you and those results. It's time to embrace responsibility, right? I had to say to myself, do I want to be a part of America's sick care system and wait until I'm sick to get cared for? Or would I like to flip that script and maybe take a more proactive approach to life? So that requires structure. Structure generates behavior. So I structure my home in a certain way. I structure my workflow each week in a certain way. That might be something that you want to do this evening and into tomorrow as you utilize the power of Saturn, because that is the planet of hard work, my friends. So consider those rituals and routines that are in your life. Revisit the ones that serve and support your highest self. We're in a grand awakening and you're seeing it. You're starting to see elements of the darkness, which is forcing out those who are standing in the light. And to stand in the light means we must discern the things that are no longer serving us and eliminate those from my life. The best thing I ever eliminated was alcohol. It's a big fat liar. It's an addictive substance that leaves you feeling fat, fluffy, brain fog, and fatigued. So get truthful with yourself. Now I'm working on sugar. That one's darn hard. In some countries, they're trying to regulate sugar like heroin because it's that addictive. So I'm trying to eradicate all processed sugar and processed foods from my nutritional plan because I'm on a plan a nutritional plan I'm exploring that awakens your third eye consciousness so that I can discern and hear. I've had the privilege of meeting God in my cancer journey, of hearing voices of angels as we've been guided to Ocala, Florida. And I want to be closer to God. And so I'm managing my nutrition so that I can be in divine alignment more often and hear those little God whispers that guide me to a state of abundance. Uranus, this is my second favorite planet. This is the planet of innovation, change, and awakening. So if you're feeling that nudge, our nudges, these awakenings are often coming in the forms of agitations. It might be a divorce, it might be obesity, it might be a health challenge, it might be a disease like cancer. Cancer was one of my greatest accelerators in awakening. I started awakening more in like 2013, and cancer took that to the hockey stick curve, right? Up and accelerated that level of success. And so you might want to invite some kind of change into your life. And I encourage you to use the power of prayer. You don't have to do all of this on your own. Neptune is the planet that symbolizes our dreams, our intuition, and spiritual enlightenment. So you might want to invite God to be a bigger part of your life during this time of planetary alignment. Now we're going to talk a little bit about, for my girls, I know you use way too much of your masculine energy each and every day. So let's talk about masculine and feminine energies and how these planetary attributes align with these different states of energies. Our masculine self is the assertive, analytical, goal-oriented, logical, action-oriented version of ourselves. There's a new body of research that came out in 2019 with 64,000 survey participants from 18 nations in Fortune 500 boardrooms. And it showed that for 21st century prosperity, again, I want you thinking about, are you building the skills to pay the bills? Are you building the skills that pay the highest amount per hour? Those skills now are feminine skills. So lovely ladies, it's time for us to shed the mask of masculinity that we put on to build high levels of success in our career and embrace the feminine energies of intuition, nurturing, creativity, receptivity, and being in a flow-oriented state. So notice the difference between, if you were to make a 2-column list in your notes, that's what I would be doing right now. That's what I prepared and did. I have assertive, analytical, goal-oriented, logical, action-driven. That's the doing, achieving, pushing energy. And then we have our feminine energy, which is intuitive, nurturing, creative, receptive, flow-oriented. This is about receiving and pulling in. So we can pull in, like I'm like right now looking for the love of my life, and I noticed that in the past, I was using a push energy. I had my spreadsheet of all the things that I wanted my man to possess. I wanted him to be loving. I wanted him to be driven. I wanted him to have a heart of gold, all these different things. And I was then out looking for that. Instead, what it looks like to be in a flow-oriented state is I am choosing to be, again, notice I'm focusing on who I am and how I operate. I want you making that shift happen from what you have to do each day. Instead of thinking about what you have to do, think of who you are going to be. Everything else will flow from that place. And so I choose to be, and now it's kind of fun because I'm in the South, so I'm just choosing to be a Southern sweetheart. People don't know the level of badassery that I bring to the table. They don't know all of my achievements and bullets on my resume. I'm sweet, and everything is flowing in divine favor, from finding our dream modern farmhouse and on an acreage that's very easy to manage, 15 minutes from the World Equestrian Center with beautiful neighbors and friends, even being gifted $10,000 tickets to the world's #1 carriage drivers event. I mean, I'm just receiving in a state of flow. And so that's about being, creating, and allowing. Those are those two energies, and we need both. It's not an either or, this is a yes and. I want you to have your cake and eat it too, my friends. So let's talk about the planetary attributes and these energies. Mercury, its masculine energy is about clear, concise communication. The best leaders, when I train leaders in communication, I train them in clarity, brevity, and impact. Be bright, be brief, and be gone, right? That's that masculine energy, the detailed plan. In our feminine energy for Mercury, it's about intuition in the conversation and the decision. Trusting your heart to engage in the conversation, not always thinking about what you have to say next. Notice the difference there. Masculine is very pre-thought. Feminine is very present and is very creative in our expression. Mars, this is the planet of action and drive, remember. So the masculine energy is about decisive action, being bold and assertive. Sometimes this might be a season for you where you need to be more bold. My 3 things right now: live boldly, pray dangerously, and love wholeheartedly. That's what I'm manifesting each and every single day in my prayer time. Feminine energies with Mars are to channel your passions and desires into creative projects, being receptive to the inspired actions. I'm now doing half of my business day under oak trees and at barns because it's that creative energy that I feel and experience when I'm out in nature. This poor little goat is sweating to my body. Are you getting hot, baby? I just love her. Hi, sugar love. See her little sweat. It's okay. Here, I'm going to actually just shift us a tiny bit into, there we go. A little more shade. Here we go. I know, honey bun. All right. Whoops. Okay. Come here, baby. Let's just turn this way. There we go. We'll sweat on the other side now. Let's sweat on the other side. Okay. All right. So we're on to Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance. Our masculine energy in Jupiter is to set ambitious goals and take calculated risks. Taking responsible risks is one of the 16 habits of the most effective people. It's a habit of mind that they cultivate. So it's looking at, am I taking enough risks right now, or am I staying in the safety zone? Again, normal distribution curve. The norm, the mediocre middle, they stay safe all the time. The world's most successful people, they condition themselves. I tell myself every day, I'm putting courage in my pocket. I take that word and physically put it in my pocket and walk into the day so that I can take those calculated risks. Talk about a big calculated risk, moving across the country to Florida. That was a big one. Focus on growth and learning. That's our masculine energy. That's that strategic selection of skills and strategies that you're focused on developing in yourself each and every week. The feminine energy is just that abundance mindset, being open to receiving divine abundance in the form of opportunities and blessings in our life, and coming to God with grand expectation of those things. Next planet, Saturn. This one's the discipline and structure planet, right? So our masculine energy is about strict routines and structures that help us achieve our goals. We need those because of decision fatigue. We have fallback patterns of behavior that we engage in when we're tired. It's why we make the best decisions in the morning, and by 2 p.m. we're reaching for chocolate or coffee, right? Coffee will set your limbic system off for 3 weeks, putting you in fight or flight mode. It's why you lose it with your kids. It's why you express yourself in ways that are unlike your true divine character. So we've got to get strict with our routines and the structures that we put into place in our lives. I'm very much on that bandwagon, and I'll be going live a lot about that right now, because in the months when we were homeless and traveling all around to Airbnbs, we ended up having to live out of a bag, which meant we were eating at restaurants a lot, which meant we were eating the addictive tasting foods that are toxic. And now I'm recalibrating. I'm getting back into the structure that generates the behaviors that bring me high levels of success. The feminine energy of Saturn is using structure to support creative flow and being patient, practicing patience and nurturing your progress. Uranus, my second favorite planet, innovation and change. That masculine energy is about embracing that change and innovation, taking those bold steps towards new ideas, planning those steps out with great strategy, and going for it. The feminine energy is allowing yourself to flow as changes happen. Yesterday I was making this beautiful, it's my kale power bowl, and as I opened the can of fire roasted tomatoes, it splattered on my brand new Lululemon yoga pants and my beautiful black top that was also brand new. I could have lost it, but because I've been in energetic alignment and feeding myself the foods that help regulate my emotions and keep me in connection with God, I was able to flow with that. I was adaptable and open to new possibilities. Neptune is the planet of our dreams and spirituality. So our masculine energy helps us take that dream vision that we're imagining, those highly ambitious goals, and breaking them down into actionable steps, and then seeking spiritual growth through disciplined practices. Our growth in relationship to God is determined by the rituals and routines of our lives. So I want you being very thoughtful about that. Our feminine energy with Neptune is tapping into those dreams and awakening our intuition, allowing our imagination to guide us, and quit using the negative narratives of I can't because, or I'm not enough, or self-doubt. That's that fear-based pathway. And we're talking about choosing faith over fear. You've got two paths, right? And I want you choosing faith. So let's talk about your 6-step plan for this evening or early tomorrow morning to manifest success with vibrational energy in alignment with this cosmic spectacle that's happening this evening. Set clear intentions. Clearly define what success means to you. Write it down. Visualize it. Integrate the masculine and feminine intuition and clarity. Balance your action and allowance. So that's, I think of it like when I was a teacher, in my lesson plan book, I left blank spaces. Leave some blank space in your life so that you can be in divine flow and stay open to those unexpected opportunities. Again, I want you thinking about fight mode. Sometimes we need that disciplined fight, and other times we need a little bit of ease and flow. Step 3, communicate with clarity and compassion. Use Mercury's energy to articulate your desires clearly while embracing empathetic communication, practicing that compassion and understanding for yourself and for others. Step 4, cultivate discipline and creativity. This is Saturn disciplining you and then using the creativity of Jupiter and Neptune to ensure you're staying on track while you're nurturing innovation. Step 5, embrace change. Know that it's going to happen. Change is inevitable. So we've just got to get comfortable with it. Uranus invites us to encourage innovation and adaptation and to balance these grounding practices to stay centered amidst change. One of my favorite grounding practices right now is taking sound baths. Find those self-care rituals that show yourself so much love. And then the last one is to visualize and truly feel. For me, I was always visualizing and goal setting in my masculine energy. And now I'm visualizing and staying grounded in nature and in the sounds and electromagnetic fields of certain vibrations, mainly because cancer cells can't survive those vibrations. And using that feminine energy to visualize myself succeeding. I'm actually picturing my highest self who's already guiding me, who's achieving these things, and I'm there in that space. I time travel in my mind to that space and feel it, feel all of those emotions. That raises your vibrational frequency to attract what you desire. I want you to bring your gals, G-A-L. These are the 3 highest vibrational frequencies that allow us to attract and manifest with ease. The first is gratitude. The second is authenticity, being truly uniquely you, not who this world taught you you had to be. This world taught me I had to be real tough, and I'm learning I don't need to be so tough anymore. I can be in divine flow with God and know that every single thing is being provided for me and happening. Not only are things, we sometimes think things are happening to us, they're happening for us, and most importantly, because of us. So I celebrate you for doing this work, for being a learner, for connecting the themes of high performance, leadership, and the divine into your life in this special moment. God's lining these planets up, giving us some secrets about what we should be working on right now. So let's spend some time this evening in meditation to center yourself, focus your mind on balancing and integrating those masculine and feminine energies. Visualize each of the planets. Get your notebook and go through the notes that we just took together. Visualize and picture that planet, picture its attributes, feel their energy within you. God is in you. God has created all of this, and that is also in us. And then create affirmations that blend masculine assertiveness and feminine receptivity, where you're receiving. I'm taking bold actions toward my goals while remaining open to divine guidance, might be an affirmation that you use. And then create your action plan. Write down those actionable steps for the coming days and integrate your intuitive insights with logical planning. So as you're meditating, you're going to have the voice of God, depending on how many toxins you've got and how many negative narratives you've got to work through. But as you work through those and do this worthwhile work, you'll be able to integrate even more intuitive insights with that logical planning so that you achieve those ultra high levels of success. And then most importantly, end that with gratitude. Thank the universe for the energy and opportunities that are aligning for your success. With that, my friends, go out and shine your love and light into this beautiful world. I'm sending you so much of my high vibrational love from my heart to yours. Live boldly, pray dangerously, and love wholeheartedly.